I'm no longer the young man sitting in the back, hoping colleagues would remember my name. It's time for the next generation of leadership.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is stepping down at the end of the year, sending shockwaves that are still reverberating throughout Washington this week. The high-stakes succession battle is already underway. Joining me now with the latest is the Hill's Mychael Schnell. Mychael, who's replacing McConnell?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question here now, Kevin. Speculation has it that it's going to be one of the three Johns who have always been considered to be successors to Mitch McConnell. That's John Cornyn, John Barrasso, and John Thune. Now, nobody has officially jumped into the race, but the expectation is that it will be one of them, all of whom have been close allies of McConnell. Thune, currently the whip, Cornyn, a former whip, and Barrasso, the conference chair. But remember, McConnell isn't stepping down until November, so there's still plenty of time for this internal jockey for the top job.
Something tells me that there's going to be another candidate, other name than John, that enters into the race. But what do I know? Meanwhile, Hunter Biden was testifying on Capitol Hill earlier this week. What did we learn?
Yeah, so Hunter Biden was in with the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees for a little under 7 hours during that grilling by Republican lawmakers about his father, the president's involvement in his business ventures. Hunter Biden said in his opening statement that his father has never been a part of that, a theme that we have heard from a number of witnesses. But that's not the last time that we're going to see Hunter Biden. Likely House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer coming out of that deposition yesterday and telling reporters that the next step is going to be a public hearing with Hunter Biden.
All right, meanwhile, we've got like 1 day till the shutdown. I know you've got to go stake out a meeting in order to see what exactly is going to happen with this thing. But deal, no deal, where are we with the shutdown?
Yeah, it looks like a shutdown is going to be averted. But for now, Kevin, that's the big caveat. Congress today, the House today, is going to vote on a short-term continuing resolution to kick the funding deadlines. The first one to next week, the second one to March 22nd. And top congressional leaders say that they have a deal on 6 of the 12 appropriations bills, which they will put on the floor and pass next week, which will, be good to avert the first deadline, that first shutdown. But the real key thing is going to be that March 22nd deadline when Congress is going to have to sort out some thornier appropriations bills, ones that have to do with the Pentagon, things like that. That's going to be the real test of Speaker Johnson and his conference. But as of now, a shutdown will be averted. That's the expectation.
For like a week, I feel like we're like in shutdown turbulence for the next couple of weeks. Is that a fair assessment? If you're trying to watch this from a business perspective and understand what all of this means, we're not out of the woods yet in terms of the next couple of weeks. We're really entering the thick of things, right?
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah.
Kevin, first off, this is the 4th time this Congress that we're up against a shutdown cliff. The 4th time we have to deal with a potential shutdown. Next week, we're going to have to deal with a potential shutdown with that March 8th deadline. And then the week of March 22nd is going to be another shutdown cliff because we are kicking the deadline to there. 7 this Congress. That's a lot.
It's a lot. Trump, meanwhile, also has to pay a lot, $454 million in damages quickly. I mean, is this going to start to hurt him in the fundraising and the RNC apparatus?
Well, we'll have to see. Look, every time we have seen an indictment of former President Trump, it hasn't actually hurt his standing in the polls. We saw that with all the indictments last year. We've seen his supporters still be staunch backers of him despite these different legal entanglements, them saying that the legal proceedings are biased against him. I mean, we'll have to see if this one has anything to do with it. But if past his prologue, then no, these legal entanglements will really not hurt his standing in the polls.
And just the latest on the Trump court docket brief. I mean, SCOTUS is going to hear the immunity claim, but Illinois just says that they're not going to let Trump be on the ballot. Obviously, the Supreme Court is going to weigh on the Colorado case where he's also been kicked off the ballot. I mean, the dust's starting to settle, Schnell. Lastly, yes or no, before I let you go, the White House doctors say that Biden is fit to serve. Is this going to quiet his critics on his health? Yes or no?
Not his loudest critic, Kevin. We already see former President Trump saying that he should have taken a cognitive test at that physical with his doctor. So no, the chorus of criticism I don't think is going to end there.
Mychael Schnell, in between stakeouts on Capitol Hill. Thank you so much, Schnell, our reporter for us at The Hill. The Federal Reserve's favored inflation metric rose 0.3% in January and 2.4% within the last year. That's according to the personal consumption expenditures data released by the Feds earlier. The central bank is weighing when to cut interest rates amidst cooling inflation. Coinbase, a cryptocurrency trading platform, is apologizing after a technical error earlier made some users' accounts look empty, as in that they had zero. Coinbase did not give a reason for the error, but its CEO has since said that it was because of high traffic on the platform, but they've also said that their funds are now safe and that they immediately suspended buying and trading services, which have since been restored. It may be a plane, it may be Superman, or it actually may be a UFO. America's UFOs hotspots were revealed in a new map showing 100,000 sightings from 2001 to 2020. Geographers from the University of Utah and the Pentagon, recently retired UFO chief Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, uncovered all of this statistical proof of the relationship between UFO sightings and the American West. It's fascinating, folks, how many folks have spotted these UFOs, UAPs as they're calling them now. You've heard of turkeys being pardoned, but what about pigs? Yesterday, a baby pig was pardoned at the Louisiana Capitol. The pig was rescued after being tossed like a football near a Mardi Gras celebration. The week-old piglet, dubbed Earl Piglet Long, was given the honors by Louisiana Governor Billy Nungesser. That's it for today's Daily Debrief. I'm Kevin Cirilli. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Hill's YouTube channel. Come back here soon for the intersection between pigs, politics, and policy.